G1 combiners. Such cool designs, especially the Scramble City ones. Well, maybe not Minosaur. He's a little weird, but the rest, so cool. But the coolest, I think, is Bruticus. I mean, he's a super cohesive combiner. Well, for the most part. His individual robots are a lot of fun, and he's a self-contained army in his individual parts. Well, kinda. And it was the first time we got all military vehicles in a team. Well, kind. Alright, we get it. Blastoff doesn't make any damn sense on this team. Holy shit. And I can't be the only one who likes him because they didn't just roll them out once, but twice for modern lines in the 90s and 2000s. More so in RID than G2, considering that RID 01 had more unification and G2 had that god-awful rap. So without further ado, I'd like to talk about the refresh of the character in 2001, RID Ruination. Seeing as how we're dealing with a combiner today, I figured the best place to start would be with the leader of the group, Onslaught. Excuse me, what I meant to say was Mega Octane. Yeah, he's the Onslaught of the group, but they changed his name for some reason, which is funny because he looks just like him. Which is fine because also this design is fantastic. And I am a real big fan of this gun truck mode. I mean, it is absolutely iconic. Detail-wise, it's kind of soft because, well, G1, but you can tell what's going on here. The wheels are about as nice as they can be, and the grill conspicuously looks like fists. But they're not. They're not. I swear. I swear they're not. Okay, say it with me now. Arctic Camo. So yeah, this mold has a camo color scheme again. And for once, it actually makes sense. Okay, people, look. Growing up is admitting that G2 camo does not make sense. Okay? But just quickly, I want to bring in the standard release for RID. He's green, obviously, but the details are still there. You know, for this time of year, this camo is kind of appropriate because... Anyways, for features, firstly, he rolls pretty good. You've also got a turret that can move up and down, and you can throw his rifle on top just to throw in a little bit more firepower. And lastly, you have the Scramble City base mode. It's pretty cool. You know, I'd love to show you the entire Scramble City mode, but I don't have Metroplex because I pay taxes, and also I just can't find him. Transforming him is relatively simple because he's a G1 figure, but the things he does are still fun. Especially with how he kind of compacts down instead of getting bigger from his vehicle mode. And I'm also really a big fan of how the arms form from the front of the truck. We'll also just ignore the fact that he has some parts for me. In robot mode, he is definitely Onslaught, and he really does look nice for a G1 figure. Also really absurdly close to his animation model. Painting and detail-wise, it's still pretty simple. His colors are about the same from the vehicle mode, except he's got some purple and yellows going on, and the detail is still kind of soft, but you can tell what's going on. I am really in love with this head sculpt. I mean, it's very, very accurate, as I said, to the animation model. As for features, we've got the rifle that I plugged into his vehicle mode. That's always nice. And I think you can take his ramp here and do a shield. Wait. Can we do a shield? Wait, David, can we do a shield? Or we... No, apparently we can't do a shield. Damn it. And now I can actually talk about articulation on a G1 figure. That's crazy. Like, it's actually worth talking about. Well, there's not a lot here, but again, there's some noteworthy stuff, so I want to go over it. His head, 360, absolutely crazy for a G1 figure again. His arms are universal. When do you ever see that? When do you ever see that on a G1 toy? Almost never. And then his legs, he can go out, and that's it. But just the fact that he has universal arms and his head rotates all the way around, like, that's crazy for a G1 figure. Like, that's an A+ in my book for G1 articulation. So yeah, Mega Octane, he's cool. Next up on the team is Rotor, who is a repaint of Vortex. And in this color scheme, this helicopter mode is oddly familiar. You know, it really makes me kind of want to... Yeah, in this color scheme, this mold just screams a precursor to Blackout. And there is nothing wrong with that to me. Detail-wise, again, it's soft because it's G1, but you can tell what's going on here. There's a lot of molded-in machinery detail, like the vents on the top, and the tail fins even molded in. Feature-wise, you can take this gun and attach it into that recess on the front of his helicopter mode, and it just slides right in there. You can also take these two, what look to be Gatling guns, and attach them to the back here, And now he looks like he's ready to go apeshit on any Viet Cong in the trees. It's a combiner limb, so you know the transformation is going to be absolutely simple. And the robot mode, well, once again, it's a Scramble City limb, so he's simple. But it's okay, because he's still detailed. You can still tell he's a robot. Color-wise, the camo's still present here, but the black and gray that they picked is really suiting this mold well. It really gives good contrast to the detail on his chest, like those little vents there. Also, for a combiner limb, he has a surprisingly well-detailed head with those little vents on his crest and the red visor. And with the way this whole tail rotor ends up on the arm, you would swear, just swear that this guy was inspiration for Blackout. God, some of you just don't give the Bayverse enough credit for G1 references. Dicks. Feature-wise, you can once again throw his guns on, and there you go. That's about it. And regarding the whole Blackout thing, there's one more thing I want to show you. Just have a look at this. I rest my case. Next up is Movor, and... Okay, this is exactly why I put off talking about him. Why is he a shuttle? This has jack shit to do with military. No, you shut up. You stay out of this. You weren't even born yet. You know what? This isn't even G1's fault. This one's on you. Yeah, on you. Oh no, you're not putting this on us. We canceled these things. I don't give a shit if you did or not. You still chose to put this with military vehicles, you dumbass. Touche. That's our bad. Damn right, it's your bad. No, get out. Get out. You're disgraceful. Get out of here. Go. You're fired. Okay, so yeah, Movor is a repainted Blastoff, who is a shuttle, but it's a cool shuttle nevertheless. Plus, he's camo, which I guess is relevant because Space Force now, but whatever. Here's the original side-by-side with it, and it's literally just a normal shuttle, like NASA would have. And one thing I'm noticing right now, actually, is the original has a pointed nose cone. And also, something has to be said about knockoff companies making this thing red. Red of all colors, as if it's burning up on re-entry. What the hell is wrong with you people? As for features, all you get are these two cannons here that you can just plug into the back. So yeah, now we're cooking. We got an armed shuttle. Transformation is exactly the same engineering as Rotor, except it just misses a few steps. But it does also add some here and there, so I mean, that's really a win-win, I guess. In robot mode, once again, he's pretty simple. He's a combiner limb, so what you see here is what you get, really. Feature-wise, again, he's packing heat just like the rest of them, and it works pretty good on this one. Since we did two of the same molds back-to-back, I am going to talk articulation real quick. The head does not move. It's a combiner limb. They're usually just cemented in place. The arms are a cross between universal shoulders and ball joints, which is weird. He's got a wrist swivel, which is neat, and no legs whatsoever. But yeah, and then Rotor is similar. I guess you could call those knees, but like, why would you want to use those? And then he's got ball joints again, and no head. Haha, funny. But yeah, these are almost exactly the same with articulation. But yeah, that's about it. They're really simple. Not a lot to them. Which leads us right into our next guy, Rollbar. He's the Swindle repaint, obviously, and apparently, according to TF Wiki, he's a martial artist, likes rainy days, and sauna baths. Might as well put that on a Tinder profile. Believe it or not, this vehicle mode was never originally intended to be a Jeep as we see in the cartoon and anime. Instead, it's an FMC XR311 combat vehicle, which is also a vehicle that was made by Chrysler, but it's just a prototype. So yeah, it's not a Jeep, but isn't it though? I'm a car guy at heart, and come on, it's just a Jeep with steroids and some attitude problems. Like the others, it has a camo color scheme, but on the inside, you can actually see a molded-in console and two seats. Just no steering wheel for some reason. Feature-wise, he rolls pretty good. And you can throw his two guns on top and arm him up. And that honestly looks really good, and it suits this vehicle really well. Only thing looking at this, it kind of makes me think of something the Taliban would use. And no, shut up. I can make that joke. If Shane Gillis can make it, I can make it too.
Boy, someone blow up, they'd be like, oh!
He transforms just about as easy as the rest of them, and honestly, this robot mode is honestly kind of cute. Detailing wise, it's mostly the same, except you'll notice that he actually has a face and mouth, unlike the rest of his team, which explains nothing about Rollbar, but a lot about Swindle. Once again, just like the rest, we have his guns. They go into his handholds just fine, and that honestly wraps up Rollbar. He's a cool one. And finally, we have Armorhide. This mold makes the best out of the camo unification, as there is no question that there was some kind of tank in this color at some point. I'm not sure who used it, but I have a sneaking suspicion it was either or. I can't say the same about the original because it's blue ice camo, which I can only think of being useful in, I don't know, Minecraft? The details, while again soft, are very visible with the vents and fans on top. The vehicle features include a rotating turret, A+ for that, and a secondary gun turret that can attach to his back end, and honestly, this is where I can sense the Brawl echoes because I can't look at G1 Brawl without thinking of this secondary turret. And the more I look at this, it makes me think that that pick for the tank in the live-action movies was intentional. I mean, we already connected the dots with Blackout, so I mean, this is possible too, right? Transformation is just as simple as the rest, and I really like how the turret moves out of the way for the legs to fold out. That's a nice touch. But other than that, there's really not much to this one. And the robot mode, get ready for this, is just as simple as the rest of them. Shocker. But that's okay because he turns out to be the most proportionate out of all of the other characters. I think his head is probably the most interesting with the head crest and the segmented eyes. Only thing is, this time I can't really cover features because this guy's missing a gun. Yeah, when I unpacked for TFCon, I misplaced his gun in one of the storage bins, so that's on me. And just to add in, his and Rollbar's articulation is exactly the same. It's just an arm movement. That's really all it is. There's nothing else going on, which it's okay. They're G1 figures. Seeing all these together is really nice, especially in their unified colors. Next to the retail version, this is a bit of a step up considering we don't see unified combiner teams that often, but there's nothing wrong with the retail colors. I actually really like those too. I just like the unification of the Walmart version a little bit better. And I'll be the first to tell you, if I had the desert camo version, we'd be looking at that. That one is sharp as hell. And looking at this picture in post-production, I realize I can do a shield with the ramp. Damn it. Alright, I've done enough stalling. David, combination sequence. And a little bit of parts forming later, and we've got ourselves a Gestalt. And man, this thing is really cool. It's a nearly 40-year-old mold at this point, and it's still so cool standing here. And the colors sure are helping it out a lot. I know people would prefer no parts forming, but hey, they were new at this at the time, and I can excuse that. Detailing wise, I've really already said it all. The colors are all unified, and all the details are pretty soft. I really do think the standout details are in the helmet though. I love the horns, the mohawk, and the red eyes just seal the deal. One thing I really want to talk about is the differing transformations I've seen on this guy. Some people have his arms folded down like this to make him look like Kanye, Persona, or just have him folded down like me. I was sure this was the way to go, but that hasn't stopped certain photos of Bruticus and Ruination going the way of two Baku jokes in one video. Feature-wise, you can take every gun that is available in this set and combine them into one BFG. And have Onslaughts in the other hand, and now you have him armed to the teeth. But there is one more thing you can do, which for some reason has lived rent-free in my head since I saw the RID show. Yep, as I mentioned at the start, it's a Scramble City Combiner, which means swapping limbs. This is land mission mode, which is more or less means he's about to punch you to death. The land vehicles bulk him up in the arms and make him look more full. You also get to make use of the 2 guns that are used on Rotor and Movor in their vehicle modes, which is cool. Overall, I love this set. I think it's very, very fun. It's a real bang for your buck set, especially at the time with 5 self-contained vehicles and robots to combine into a bigger robot. Sure, they have their flaws, but these are hella fun. Well, Hasbro must have thought so, because by the year 2006, this whole set had come out a total of 8 times. 8. But hey, if you can get your hands on any one of these, no matter what the set is, the American, Japanese, the Universe one, or even this one from Walmart, I would recommend it. Yeah, the Japanese one looks nicer, but I do like the unified color schemes of the various camo versions. But hey, this is a fun set, and I'm going to recommend it to just about anybody. As always, guys, I've been Treebot Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you all in the next one. Keep growing your collections.
Saved. Hey!